And now I am going to introduce Vivana, who is going to talk to us about Between the Question and the Quest. So, a little bit of background about Vivana. She is from Region 6, as she competed. Oh, I think I forgot to mention that Zane was Region 2, New Hanover County. Vivana is a Region 6 alumni, and she is currently an 8th grade student at Metrolina Regional Scholars Academy. She is a top 30 finalist for Broadcom Masters. That was last year in 2020. Congratulations. First place winner of the Arizona State University Sustainability Fair and the recipient of the Rob and Melanie Walton Foundation Sustainability Solutions Award in 2020. She also is North Carolina Water and Environmental Association first place winner. Vivana enjoys all kinds of music and is particularly fascinated with musical intervals, and enjoys trying different permutations and combinations of the altered intervals to change the feel or emotion of a musical piece. You're after my mathematical heart saying that, Vivana. She will be graduating with a bachelor's degree in Hindustani classical music and music theory in 2022. She also enjoys playing badminton, debating, especially with her father, because he is a tough component, and thinks that cryo-electron microscope is the coolest invention yet.
So
And with
imagine living in a world where invention, design, innovation, and technology just didn't exist, let alone daring to escape the Earth's orbit. We all would be stuck in the Stone Age for eternity, perhaps hunting animals with our bare hands, or still living in caves, sheltered. That smartphone or computer you use to connect with the world, or that nice car you drive. Whether it's the simple things, like a refrigerator or microwave, that we take for granted, to the revolutionary medical innovations that are saving lives, we all are the beneficiaries of those inventions because an individual or a team somewhere in the world had an idea, the determination to test that idea, and arrive at a scientific conclusion through the process of trial and error, and then shared the results with the rest of the world. Did you know that even if the results you obtain in your research are completely contrary to your hypothesis, you still have made a crucial discovery? Hi, I'm Vivana Habal, an 8th grade student at Metrolina Regional Scholars Academy in Charlotte, a top 30 finalist at Broadcom Masters 2020, first place winner of the Arizona State University Sustainability Fair, and the recipient of the Rob and Melanie Walton Foundation Sustainability Solutions Award 2020. I want to take this time to thank NCSCF for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my perspectives with you all. And thank you, Ms. Gibson, for that wonderful introduction. I firmly believe that a hypothesis is an essential bridge between the question and the quest. A great question inspires a brilliant idea and consequently an exciting hypothesis, while the diligence in the quest for solutions to a question drives research to an important scientific conclusion and end goal, whether or not it aligns with its hypothesis. Many people fear to engage with their scientific ideas because they think that the result of their scientific research must achieve a predetermined outcome that aligns with their hypothesis. This belief sometimes deters many students from pursuing their scientific research, as they're afraid they may not be able to prove an anticipated outcome. I want to emphasize that a hypothesis is solely an educated prediction that conveys an experimental goal, and the beauty of a hypothesis is that it allows several alternative approaches in the experimental process. By design, hypotheses predict the outcome of an idea. It does not guarantee one. The objective is for an idea to be tested, not proven. Therefore, a hypothesis can never fail in real time, and that is what makes it so powerful. Refraining from expressing your new ideas due to fear of them being rejected, be it because your experimental results are contradicting your hypothesis, or perhaps just a self-doubt, could lead to a potentially impactful idea being wasted. Not every hypothesis that has been tested and proven in history is set in stone. Any previously proven hypothesis can be challenged, disapproved, reviewed, or reestablished, which are all a part of a vital course any evolving field must take. An idea is ineffective if it stays unexpressed. Imagine what would happen if Nikola Tesla, one of history's greatest inventors, got discouraged and let his most revolutionary invention of alternating current go unexplored because he was ridiculed for wasting everyone's time with this impossible idea. If Shirley Jackson, a theoretical physicist and the first African American woman to be awarded a PhD from MIT, despite her non cooperating peers, conducted breakthrough scientific research with subatomic goals that enabled others to invent the fax machine, touch tone telephones, solar cells, fiber optic cables, and caller ID technology. If Alexander Graham Bell, an undeterred engineer, hesitated to establish the Bell Telephone Company in 1877 because his new device was rejected, quote unquote, as hardly more than a toy, and if John Braid pulled back because he was balked at a public demonstration of his working television in London. If the Wright brothers stopped building their flying machines because they were ridiculed for quote unquote having a madman's fantasy until they successfully flew the world's first powered aircraft in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. All these pioneers went on to make history because they dared giving their idea a chance despite facing resistance. Another enduring value of research is many a time people make discoveries that they never anticipated they would during their study. Did you know that Sir Alexander Fleming was experimenting with the influenza virus to study the body's innate protection against invasion by microorganisms when he discovered penicillin, the first naturally occurring antibiotic drug used therapeutically from a mold that had contaminated Staphylococcus culture? That Belgian chemist Leo Baekeland was experimenting to find synthetic replacement for expensive resin secreted by a South Asian beetle, and he produced the world's first plastic in that process. That Percy Spencer discovered microwaves when he was working to find energy sources to run radar equipment. That while testing if cathode rays could pass through glass, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen discovered X-rays, and for the first time, physicians worldwide had a non-surgical tool to see inside the body. That Wilson Greatbach invented the pacemaker, a device implanted to regulate a human heart when he was conducting experiments with an oscillator to record heart sounds. And that DuPont chemist Stephanie Kwolek invented high tensile Kevlar, a material that is 5 times stronger than steel, while trying to perfect the lighter fiber for automobile tires. We can go on and on with such remarkable instances that have revolutionized the way that the world approached problems after their discovery. That being said, communication and collaboration are extremely essential aspects of finding solutions to problems at a global scale. When you communicate your ideas through your research, irrespective of whether your findings support your hypothesis or not, it may open up possibilities for new approaches and inspire additional research in analyzing complex scientific facts which were previously unknown. As a rising 6th grader, I was posed with a question. What if 50 years from now, fossil fuel reserves were completely exhausted? I was stumped, but this question pushed me to think really hard. I developed a keen interest in sustainable energy after I learned about it through a series of documentaries focusing on the challenges of depleting energy resources our world is facing at an exceedingly alarming rate. I learned how excessive fossil fuel burning is leading to the release of exponential amounts of greenhouse gases into our atmosphere, and how they bring about devastating effects to our environment. I tried to fully grasp the possibility of Earth being completely depleted of fossil fuels in the next 50 years, and what would we do if there were no alternative fuel resources available? After all, fossil fuels are not an infinite resource. Think about it. All public transport would come to a grinding halt. Food production, electricity, heating, clothing, pharmaceuticals, healthcare, and electronic industries would all be hit very hard, and millions would lose their jobs. Many communication systems would fail, and there would be widespread deforestation to meet energy needs. Knowing this, one word, catastrophic, came to my mind, and I wanted to do my part to try to change that. and I knew I could bring that change using science as a tool. I hypothesized a microbial fuel cell would be sustainable and an economically viable choice that would generate enough electrical energy and end our fossil fuel dependency. And that idea became the inspiration of my science research project that year. My hypothesis, however, was proven correct about generating sustainable energy using soil-based microbial fuel cells. But at their peak voltage, my microbial fuel cells did not turn out as cost-effective as I had predicted. Was I disappointed with my results? Absolutely. I had worked on it all year, and for me, it was not easy to accept that my results only partially supported my hypothesis. However, the greatest lesson I learned from the experience was that I was putting too much focus on whether the results supported my hypothesis and less on what I can learn from the results. What questions do these results inspire, and how can I use those results to plan my approach to solve this problem in the future? To me personally, hypotheses thereafter had become what I would call a reflection juncture to analyze why I predicted the way I did and why the results turned out the way they did. At this point, I definitely didn't want to give up on finding a sustainable solution that was cost effective as well. So, for my next science project, I chose to work on producing biofuels by repurposing agro-industrial wastes like sugarcane and sorghum bagasse to increase lipid production from microalgae. This project was very time consuming and needed extensive planning. I faced some tough challenges in the process, and I had to come up with tons of solutions to address them. I worked all my weekends and all my holidays on my project, but at the end, it was all worth it. I was able to produce biodiesel by significantly lowering biofuel production costs while achieving higher biofuel harvests per year than conventional biofuel wheat crops. It was a great honor for me to have been chosen as one of the nation's top 30 Broadcom Master finalists, and I am truly grateful to society, the science, and the public for recognizing my work and providing me an amazing platform to share my research with a vast audience. I'm immensely grateful for the support extended by NCSCF in providing a platform and encouraging local students like me to share their scientific work and foster that passion for STEM. For me, it's a moment of pride that all the work I put into this project was worth it. Something I learned about myself during this project was that I could push myself hard if I needed to and overcome my obstacles independently, and I never realized that about myself before. I fully appreciated how one research study can lead you to visit various interdisciplinary fields and how every field is just so intricately interconnected. Think about the opportunity to learn cost analysis, psychology, plant anatomy, physiology, molecular biology, and earth and environmental sciences, all in a largely chemistry-based sustainability research project. My message to all you science enthusiasts out there is, don't let your fears hold you back from communicating your ideas to the world. Don't be afraid to challenge the pre-existing beliefs, or maybe your own hardwired beliefs. Sometimes we may find an answer. Sometimes we may find multiple answers. And sometimes it seems like there's no right answer at all. And in scientific research, all those possibilities are completely valid. A hypothesis should always be about a probability and putting your idea to the test. Imagine if one of your ideas could one day be translated into something tangible. It could touch millions of lives and make a difference in this world. What an inspiring story that would be. So believe that you have what it takes to change this world. Find problems you care about in your community, and science can be your means of finding the solutions you want. And remember, there is always a space for doing science in anything you do. Thank you.